Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us on the Rebel Caravan. And I hope you're ready to talk some UNLV football as we get ready for this exciting season that is coming up. My name is Kevin Bolinger from Fox 5. I'll be the moderator today, but we want to hear from you as well. As you can see on your screen, we want you to ask questions for our panel here today. Use your Q&A on the Zoom feature that you have right there to ask your questions, and then we'll be getting to as many of them as we can. We're also going to be selecting 4 winners throughout this process on the virtual Rebel Caravan, and you can get some good swag here. We have got a big Nike swag pack that has a hat, t-shirt, and mini helmets, Nike sunglasses, a Mountain West watch, and a UNLV helmet. So make sure that you stay with us for the entire time, and maybe you can go away with some swag as well. But most importantly, we want you to go away with knowledge about Rebel football and share everybody's excitement for the season upcoming. I want to introduce you to our panel that we have here today. We have UNLV Director of Athletics, Desiree Reed-Francois, UNLV Head Football Coach Marcus Arroyo, Senior Defensive Lineman Nate Neal, and Senior Running Back Charles Williams. Thanks all for joining with us, but we're going to start with Desiree Reed-Francois with some opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Kevin, and thank you everyone for joining us. I know that these past few weeks, these past few months have been a time of challenge. They've also been a time of revelation and a time of learning. We're all educators, and while we have one of the most diverse campuses and most diverse athletic departments in the country, we can all do better. We can all try and get better. And this is going to be a marathon. It's not going to be a sprint, but we're going to enter these conversations true to our core values and with an open heart. So I'm really proud to be here with all of you today. And we're so proud to be a part of this wonderful community. And we're going to heal together. And that's the only way that we can continue to have social justice. So it has been, last week was a challenging week, but there was also a point of light. And it may seem, last Tuesday, Coach Arroyo and I had the privilege of touring the new stadium. And that new stadium provided, at least for me, a point of light in a time that was really a challenging week. And it also provided hope for the future, because I know what football can do. I know what sports can do to galvanize a community. And UNLV has been a part of the fabric of this community and will continue to be. And we're just so excited about the trajectory of our football program. This stadium is an important part, and I'm sure we're going to talk more about it. But I know everybody wants to hear from our student athletes, who are 2 wonderful representatives with us today, and with Coach Arroyo. But stadium's excited, and we need everybody. So Kevin, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Desiree. Let's turn to Coach Arroyo now, and welcome to Las Vegas. We've said this before, but we haven't been able to see you as much here in the last few months. How excited are you to just get this thing rolling and start kicking games off here starting in late August?
Thanks. I couldn't be more excited, especially because this week we finally got our guys back in the building. So I got a chance to see Charles, and Nate's coming around here in his timeline to get in the building, and then having the opportunity last week, as Desiree mentioned, to get in that building and see it. I'm elated, man. I can't wait to get these guys back rolling. I get fired up about just coming to work and seeing the staff walk around, and they're probably thinking we're half crazy, knowing I just like to be back on our calendar and working and watching some ball and talking about the future. But the momentum hasn't dissipated in my mind. I think it has not. It hasn't gone down in regards to what we've done as a team and taking advantage of the time we've been together, albeit virtually or not. But I'm fired up. I couldn't wait. I think it's 112 days to Cal and 52 days to camp, and so we're rolling. I'm excited.
Well, kind of in these unprecedented times, something that football coaches have never had to deal with before. You had spring practice canceled because of the coronavirus pandemic. So you're essentially going to get these guys on the field soon for the first time. How are you going to do your evaluation of these guys in such a short period of time to determine what you have and where you got your ones and twos slotted before you do kick off against Cal?
Yeah, so unfortunately, obviously, we didn't get a chance to go out there and get the ball on the field for our first time. But you know, I think that there's anything we've learned over the time that we've had a chance to be together, it's that I think, and we're learning it right now more than anything, we sacrifice football for some more important topics. And we did it for the right reasons. And I think that you may have looked at that at the forefront of it and been worried about it. But the gains we made culturally, the mindset gains, the habit, the personal accountability, the sharing, the crucial part of really pulling our team together during this time, what I call the glue. I think that based on a lot of the elements of the teams we've had a conversation with in players and staff, I think we made those gains. The evaluation process and not having a chance to get out there and do the football element, we're no different than anybody else. And there's a lot of teams in our conference that didn't have that opportunity as well. So you got to be flexible in this. I think we got to be able to adapt and adjust, and I think we did really, really well. I think what we did as good as anything is we took the time and we found what we could fill it with, which was the most opportunistic, most advantageous for us, and that was getting to know each other. And I think that we did an awesome job. These guys did a great job of facilitating that and getting down and sharing some things and getting to know each other. And I think that that's going to go a long ways with the course of the season once we get going.
You mentioned culture. It's so crucial to a football program to have a good culture. If you could explain to the fans out there what type of culture you're trying to create at UNLV and how you intend on implementing it here as we get going.
Well, I think culture is one of those things that a lot of people throw out there. I think for us, it's actionable items in regards to what we want to build as a program. And it's, you know, the four pieces for us are going to be really the talent acquisition and the people we put in the room, the player development and the way that we and the players, the staff work together and building cohesiveness, the scheme implementation, and what we do football-wise and tough and attacking style of offense and defense, and then the assessment of the whole thing. And I think culturally, when we look back, I think the things that we're going to want to see is making sure we're dumping as much as we can in those buckets, and that fits our growth. I think the core values of our program fall into one of those. The academic integrity, the social responsibility, and the competitive excellence piece of our program really stays at the forefront of everything we're doing. I think these guys hear me say it right here. They're probably online, probably saying, man, I'm so I hear that every day, all the time. But that's who we are. That's what we're trying to identify with. I think we're trying to create something that's hard to undo. And I think that the repetition and the humility and the authenticity of whatever you put into the program, you'll get out. And I think that it's got to be a collective effort. And that it's also going to be something that's got great standards set to it. The academic piece played in right off the bat in regards to how these guys set the record for the best GPA in football history here. And it plays into now. And it's more than anything. We talked about this the other day. The second pillar of our core values is social responsibility. And there's not a bigger time that we've relied onto our ability to know each other in this period. And then we get a chance to grow together. So we've got two big buckets we're already filling, and we haven't touched football, but we're better for it.
Coach, I have a question for you from one of our Rebel fans using the Zoom Q&A feature here in our Rebel Caravan. Brian F. wants to know, in your short time here, what has surprised you most about living in Las Vegas and this community?
This isn't cliche. I don't think I haven't been surprised very much. And I think he says his name's Brian. I haven't been surprised by much because I think when you take on an endeavor and you do the things that we've had to do over the course of our career as a family in just short of 20 years and 9 states and from every level, from FCS to NFL, you take a lot of things in consideration when you decide at this stage in our career to make these moves. The momentum, the culture, the people, the community, all those things in the past 3 months of us, even throughout this period we're in right now, has really played a part in us realizing how much we really like it here. We keep reiterating that as a family. There's everything's at our dispense. We're on the side of the country where we've got some family. The momentum with the community, the athletic department, the Fertitta complex, the movement and the ticket sales, and I think that there's everything's aligning the way we want. I think at the end of the day, I'm getting more excited. I think it's added layers of excitement as opposed to just something that's, oh my gosh, this is brand new.
We have our first winner of one of our prize packs here for the Rebel Caravan. Scott J., you are the winner of a Nike swag pack. The UNLV marketing team is going to be getting in touch with you about how to claim your prize. So congratulations, Scott. I want to turn over to Charles and Nate and get some players' perspective now on everything. And we'll start, I guess, with Charles. You left campus as everybody did during this shutdown. How did you stay in shape, physically stay in shape, but also try and do football-type drills when you were on your own?
So, our strength coach, Coach Fowle, he had this little app set up called Train Heroic, and we just, worked off that. It's a little training app where it gives you the workout and everything, and you just go through that workout each day, and then you click each button of each lift you did, and then you send it in, and then that's how we, maintained. And then, off the field, we also had on the field and everything, basically same thing, and then you just click all the buttons. But it was just really accountability on yourself and knowing that if you don't come back ready, you're letting the team down and that people are counting on you. So you got to put in the work, because if you come back out of shape or if you come back not where you were at when we left, you're hurting the team and you're hurting yourself.
Nate, how much contact did you have with your teammates? Were you guys mostly texting? Did you do some video chatting, talking some smack, or just sharing what you guys were doing during this off time?
Man, honestly, I think that during this time we had the most communication that we've probably ever had. Of course, we had the Zoom, so all of us just hopping in, and it's really cool because I never really used Zoom before, but we started using that just, casually, just getting everybody in there. There's a couple more apps, there's house parties, things like that. But I really learned a lot from teammates that I might not have been able to, get to know as closely. And I feel like we developed, some chemistry that was well needed. And I think that it's going to benefit us in the long run.
We heard Coach talk about culture. I'd like to ask both players what you think about the changes at UNLV football. How are things different? What are the positives that you're seeing with this new staff and how it could change things off the field, but for the fans' perspective, especially on the field? Let's start with Nate.
So, yeah, culture-wise, I love what Coach Arroyo, he came in, I remember one of the first things he told us was that we'll never flinch. And that, of course you can think of that as, the contact sport, not flinching when you see your opponent. But honestly, just everything that, that we've taken on, from COVID starting up to, just receiving a whole new staff in general, that philosophy is really, I think it's taken to our guys. I think everybody really embraces it. And, it's helped us to be able to look at controversy and know that, we're not going to back down. I feel like when something, when you face adversity, if you stay calm, when the storm's going, that you'll be better for it. You'll grow.
Charles, your thoughts on the culture change and the positive stuff that you're seeing at UNLV football?
Honestly, it's all about the mindset. Just how you talk to yourself, how you talk to your teammates. Are you being positive? Or are you being negative? If you really think about it, you could speak something into existence. That's what we always talk about, speaking something into existence. So, if you really talking down on yourself, now you put yourself in a hole where you can't even perform at your best level, or you can't even perform at at average level. And now you setting yourself back. It just, knowing basically how you talk to yourself and how you see yourself as a player and also as a person, but then also your mindset, how are you, preparing your teammates? How are you getting them ready? How are you showing your coaches or telling your coaches team's ready to go, I'm ready to go, stuff like that. And I just feel like the culture, just how everything changed from the last staff to this staff, everything clicked really fast. And I feel like Coach Arroyo's done a great job, injecting his lifestyle and his culture in us. And, we just took it and we didn't reject it. And, everybody just got to flowing.
Coach, I want to bring you back in. We have another question from a Rebel fan for you. This is from Dwayne H. He asks, I am a 1994 UNLV alum and an educator and want to know how UNLV football will use the recent events to change history. And he adds, so excited to have you as our coach, Coach Marcus.
It's really nice of him to say that, Dan. I think that if there's anything we've learned in this last period collectively for UNLV football, I think it's probably most of the most important lessons these guys learn in their life. We've really developed a better perspective overall on things that are really important. I think that in the age we live right now, and I'm old enough to probably say it now, I feel like, you know, my dad or someone used to tell me, but I think we're always looking for opportunities right now to teach these guys to live in the now and to take a deep breath and to stop and smell the roses. And I think there's some things in this small time off of our perspective as a team, as a man, as a teammate, as a son, as a father, that we've really hit home with. And I think that you add the layer of social justice piece to it, that we as a coaching staff, community and program, athletic program and city get a chance to inject in these young people. And I think we've hit it head on. I think the chance more than anything is just to listen, to be humble, to be authentic, to help organize, stand together. The same type of unity it took to put this thing where it's at right now. The same type of, you know, big movements aren't convenient. There's nothing convenient about building a new facility for people to work in, or building a relationship or a stadium like Allegiant Stadium. Nothing's convenient about that. You got to roll your sleeves up and go to work and really establish yourself. And I think we have taken on that same approach. If we want to make a real change in these guys and our communities and our families and our future, we have not made what we've done or what we've talked about or the lessons we've got to learn convenient. They're not easy. You got to really get into it. And I think that I hope our players and our staff and our program feel it the same way I do. The final component that we're most excited about, really excited about, is we put together a register, research, and react component to our mindset most recently. And what that is going to offer the opportunity for our entire team to get educated by one of our poli-sci teachers who's volunteered her time to kind of give us a 3-section thing on guys and educating them on the entire process from front to back, left to right, with an open mind across lanes. And is really going to be, I think, in my opinion, something that we can put an exclamation part on it in regards to what we can do and what we're doing.
It's obviously a topic of conversation that comes up in recruiting. I just want to touch on recruiting for a second, and I know you can't speak specifically about recruits, but just overall, during these last couple of months, you've had to recruit virtually. A lot of different topics have come up. How have you and your staff approached that when you're so used to walking into these guys' living rooms and having conversations with student athletes and their parents face to face? How have you handled this whole couple of months in terms of keeping the recruiting trail going?
Well, just to be clear, the spring recruiting calendar actually has no in-home visits. I don't say that just to counter the question. What I'm trying to say is usually what spring recruiting is, we go out and get to evaluate and get on the field and get in their classrooms and really the champions that aren't their parents, because we can't actually talk to their parents. So it's more an evaluation period for us to see them play and meet the coaches and the coaches and the people in the school. We can't really meet the parents and all that. We then miss a camp period, which is another opportunity to see them and then get them onto campus, which is another layer of it. So we can't get in the home yet. But it was negated. We did miss that. We do miss the eyeball test. But here's the deal. Everyone missed it. And so the reality of it is you can't just sit back and think it's always half empty. We really pushed the envelope in regards to every way we could find and really enhancing our evaluation process as a staff. I think if there's anything we proved in the short time we've been here, all we've done is signed one class and had a little winter conditioning, let alone the academic piece. our evaluation process in that first class in those 3 weeks, we had to sign that number one class, that top class, proved to us that we could do what we wanted to do effectively the right way. And so we grabbed any tool we could get. We've been on Zooms and FaceTimes and virtual tours and full staffs, half staffs, family dinners. I had a parent, we had a recruiting parent Zoom. Again, the reality of it is you're just trying to gain a connection and keep it consistent. And I think I think the fruits of his labor are going to come forth. So we haven't flinched, man. We've just taken every opportunity we can to expedite it and to try to beat the opponent and beating his dead period.
We have our second prize winner, Bill S. You are the winner of a pair of Nike sunglasses. So somebody from the UNLV marketing department will be in touch with you so you can claim your prize. But Bill S. also has a question for you, Coach. And Desiree had talked about the fact that you guys went to visit Allegiant Stadium. Bill wants to know, how do you think your new home will affect your preparation on game day?
That won't affect my preparation. Our preparation won't, where we're going to play won't have any effect on our preparation. It'll be exactly the same. Our program doesn't matter. The field's going to be the same distance as it is, same width, same length. End zones will be the same. We may not be able to control the climate, but in there we can. So that's great. That where we play, and specifically in Allegiant Stadium, I think will be just an awesome atmosphere. And I think that I strongly encourage everyone to get and to build a personal view of what this is going to be like. Don't do it offline. Don't do it through social media. Don't wait to tell a friend. Don't let a friend finally tell you, hey, let's go to the game. It's kind of cool. Get out there and see it. Watch it grow. And I think it'd be a really fruitful deal for the community. And I know our players will love it. We're excited. But playing there won't affect how we prepare to go be an opponent.
I want to back that up with another question for you on the stadium. But first, Carl A. Said he doesn't have a question, but he wants to thank the two players, Charles and Nate, for helping to keep the Fremont Cannon red for the last 2 years. So great job, guys, with that. As I'm sure you found out, Coach, the Fremont Cannon and the game against the team from up north is very important to this program and to these fans. That game is going to be in Allegiant Stadium from going forward. Recruiting-wise with Allegiant Stadium, what buzz are you hearing about the stadium? You have the Fertitta Center as well. How much of an impact is that having in terms of the reaction you're getting from players out there?
Well, I think it's in the I think you go into it and you hope that it's going to have the effect you hope, the effect that you wanted to have. You look at our first class, we got a chance to show this 20 class, this facility, and that stadium. That stadium wasn't where it's at now, and build a picture for them in connection with an amazing city, a life after football, and a great momentum within the athletic department, and some guys on this football team who are itching to be great. And you put all those things together, and the proof's in the pudding. That first class said they believe they're in, their parents are in. I think, and the success we're having so far in recruiting and the feedback we're getting with an amazing staff, I think is, again, the collective effort of all those things together have proved itself, man. It's as good as any facility in any environment, any platform in the country.
Desiree, I'd like to bring you back in if possible to talk a little bit about Allegiant Stadium and what it's going to mean for the athletics and the community as a whole, but also globally here, that is going to help put UNLV on the map even more so on a global scale.
Absolutely. This new stadium is going to galvanize not only our football team, because they get to play in a new $2 billion stadium. And right outside my door, I can look, and I'm here in Thomas and Mack, and I can look and I can see how it's changed the landscape of our great city. It not only will be a wonderful experience for my students, for our coaches, it helps recruiting, but what it does for UNLV football on the national landscape, it changes our trajectory. When we have a full stadium, which we will, and so I'm hoping that everybody on this call buys season tickets, it will completely, having that wonderful atmosphere, we need our fans and we need our community, because we need to showcase that the future is bright for UNLV football, and we can do it. We're going to have a full stadium, and it's going to be, and we're planning on having a full stadium. Now we all recognize things can change, and we'll adapt and adjust just like we have, but it's going to be a wonderful atmosphere, and it's going to change the trajectory of UNLV football. But we need everybody, because we can't just do it alone. I want all of our folks to be out there and to see Charles and break some more records, and Nate Neal and his amazing leadership. So it's going to be really special. Maybe our student athletes, can they reflect a little bit? Do you guys want to talk a little bit about what the stadium can mean for you?
Yeah, let's bring in Charles and Nate again to talk a little bit about the excitement of playing in Allegiant Stadium. Charles, we'll start with you. You know, you've heard about this your entire time at UNLV. What's that impact going to be when you run out there?
It's going to feel great. Just being able to know, like, you're playing in, like, just an amazing stadium, like one of the best college stadiums in football. And, you know, just knowing that ever since I got here, I've heard about the stadium, and I finally get to, like, step foot in it and play. Like, you know, we're the first team to actually, like, you know, set the mark off and, you know, start a tradition and just, you know, get things rolling and, you know, start winning some games in there. And, you know, it's going to just be great knowing that we, like, share the stadium with the Raiders and stuff, but also, you know, it, you know, brings, like, the team, like, you know, it gets them excited, gets them juiced. Like, it's something, like, we can play for now. You know, we got to protect the house. Like, this stadium didn't get built just for us to play around. Like, we got to go out there and handle business and be men and, you know, we'll go out there and show a great time and also just go out there and have fun.
Nate, what are your thoughts on Allegiant Stadium and playing in a $2 billion facility that on Saturdays is going to be UNLV's facility for everyone to see you guys play in?
Man, I tell you, since kids, you know, everybody that plays football, they think about playing in the stadium, that kind of capacity. And I've had the honor of being able to play in a couple of stadiums, you know, that were close to, but, you know, I still think that this would top it. And the energy and the feeling that you get when you walk in there and you're under those lights, there's nothing that can match that. And I know that my teammates and me as well, I think we're all excited. I think the coaches are excited. And I know the community for sure is fired up. You know, I go out and, you know, I'm in the community and, you know, if I got my football shirt on, somebody might ask me, oh, you play? And they're like, yeah. And, you know, they always bring up the stadium. So I know that everybody's really excited, and I know it's going to do us wonders.
Coach, I want to bring you back in for another viewer question, Rebel fan question from Brian V. He wants to know, what was your strategy for assembling your coaching staff?
Coaching staff, you know, I've been so fortunate to have first of all, to have a group of core colleagues I've worked for in the past and develop relationships in this past close to 20 years with guys. You know, we didn't sacrifice anything within the core values of the program that we recruit our athletes any different than we did our staff, to be honest with you. High character, low ego, high output. And these guys hear me say all the time, but our staff has got to live by a certain creed as well. I think if you want that alignment within your program, you've got to make sure that the staff, the players, and the collective effort within the walls are all pulling the same way. So I'm humbled by the guys we got to hire. I think there's over 50 years of Power 5 experience in the building, almost a decade of NFL experience. A strength and conditioning coach is the best in the country. I think that, you know, we've got a good group as I've ever been around, both men and his coach. So guys had to have character. They had to have competence. They have to be able to connect. And I think once I got all those boxes checked, it was more now of a getting together and getting more pieces together and see how it mixes together. So those are some of the things that the boxes we checked as far as getting the staff hired.
Let's talk a little bit about this year's team. There's so much excitement and a momentum building for this group. You're an offensive mind. You're obviously, when a head coach comes in, sometimes it takes a few years to completely implement everything that they want to do in an offense until they get the right players at certain positions. How much of what you want to do offensively do you think you'll be able to implement in year one?
That's always a big question. I don't think you can I probably would have tried to answer that 10 years ago and been wrong. I don't think you know till you get into camp. And I think even more pressing is now because the first time we get the ball will be this summer. And I think we're going to have to be really, really astute in regards to finding out what the attributes we have on the field, who's effective, how we can utilize them. I think if there's anything that because of the collective brain trust I've gotten in the building, I feel really empowered in regards to them knowing where our strengths and weaknesses may be and evaluating our guys in a short amount of time. Simple, fast, attacking, in all aspects are some of the things that we have to keep hanging on the wall. And as far as the overall breadth of both sides of the ball, I mean, we're not going to be able to do everything we did in year 3 at Oregon or year 9 at Stanford and right off the bat, or year whatever it is with Coach Powell and special teams at Washington. But I think we're smart enough to know what we can really do well and how we'll win games.
Charles, since you're a running back and you're in that offense, and how excited are you to give this thing a little test drive this summer in camp and then put it to full use when you start playing?
It's really exciting. Just looking at the offense from last year, it's like very explosive, very fast, and something I can fit in and it's similar to it, like my playing style, and just being downhill and being aggressive and stuff like that, attacking an opponent and everything too. I love the offense. It's very dynamic, and it's also versatile. We don't just use certain players; we use everybody. We get everybody going. We make sure we share the ball, stuff like that. Like that helps everybody out. If we want to win, we can't just be dependent on 1, 2, 3 players. We got to depend on everybody. So like it's really putting pressure on everybody to learn the playbook, because you ain't like sure when your time's gonna be up or when you got to shine, and we got to count on everybody to make the best of their opportunities and stuff like that. So just being in his offense, very exciting. And as a kid, everybody grew up. Coach Arroyo, even though you just came from Oregon and stuff, everybody wants to go play for Oregon because it's just like the fast offense, and everything like that. Everybody expects you like to just be able to fly around and like make big plays and stuff like that. But also it's little stuff like little details and everything that comes with the offense too. So we're understanding that as a group, and I just feel like it's big things for us this year because it's a fresh start, clean slate, and everybody gets to show what they can do in his offense.
Coach, I have another question for you from one of our Rebel fans here. Dax A wants to know, what are the top 3 advantages that you tell recruits to help get them to UNLV?
Top 3 advantages to get them here. People, place, timing. Very simple. The people in our building, the people we can put around them, will coach them harder and care for them more. The place, you got to go somewhere where you can feel like you can excel and all the environments that are available to you as a student athlete. Albeit campus, albeit the community, albeit city, albeit the stadium, and then time. And I think right now, I think players are right now, initially we're looking around, kind of peeking around, and now they're kind of seeing what everybody's talking about in regards to the staff and the momentum of the city, the momentum of the program, and the way we're lining things up. And now we got to get into camp and go play. So I think people, place, and timing is as important as anything that we have to offer any of these people who are looking for us as a new program.
We have our 3rd winner here on the Rebel Caravan. Jerry O, you are the winner of the Mountain West Watch. The UNLV marketing department will be reaching out to you to set up with you to claim your prize. I want to bring Nate in a little bit to talk defense right now. No question that defense at UNLV has struggled off and on here over the past few years. What do you have that excites you on this defensive side of the football that makes you think that there's going to be a step up this year?
And there's plenty of things I could tell you that excite me. I mean, one of them I would say is the players that we have. I've been around them for a while. We actually have chemistry. We have guys that aren't so brand new to each other. So, we kind of, like I said, we built some chemistry. Another one is the coaches. Coach Hansen, he's doing an amazing job. I love the scheme that he has us playing. I won't talk too much about it, but I know that just looking at, what we're going to do is going to be really effective. And personally, my position coach, Coach K, the rapport that we built with him, the relationship that we built with him, it makes you, you want to play for him. I think that, Coach Wick, our linebackers coach, told us when you come in as a new coach, the biggest thing you got to do is create trust, because, when you're getting coached, you have to feel like you're being helped, or, you can't feel like you're being criticized. And I feel like we built tons of trust with our coaches, and, the looking at the scheme is really exciting to be able to take part in.
Coach, I mean, we talk about the buildup of excitement. You can just feel it off of the players, how they're chomping at the bit to get going. It'll be interesting when you get into Mountain West play, because there's been a new staffs coming in at a lot of teams inside the Mountain West. Because you lost spring, is UNLV and those other staffs that are brand new at a disadvantage as you get going because you lost a little bit of ramp-up time, or by the time conference starts, will you already be in a good position?
Is this for me?
That's for Nate, or is that for me?
That's for Coach.
Yeah. There might be people might be saying there's a disadvantage. Sure, we didn't get spring ball. We may be a disadvantage to the teams like Independent Park. Sure, we'd love to have had 15 practices and a full summer and a regular outfit. But it is what it is. And so how we've looked at it is we had a hold up where I said, hey, let's win this offseason. Let's win whatever this is. Let's beat everybody who's doing it right now, because right now there's no handbook. So let's go to work and get this done. Now we're kind of back into a different phase, and now it's a voluntary. Let's go win this voluntary period right now. Let's go beat the conference in voluntary right now, because at the end of the day, it may be on a disadvantage, but you can't sit there and just wait for it to kind of come to you. We're not that type. We're proactive. We're thinking forward. We're aggressive. We're smart. We want to react accordingly and not emotionally. And I think that our habitual stamp of what we talk about 1-0, we've attacked every day and every week that we've been put away here the same. I don't think guys haven't flinched one bit. We've got an opportunity to win whatever's in front of us, and it doesn't have to be a game. It can be a day. It can be a week. Right now, it's a voluntary period. It's the time we get back and guys get in the weight room. And right now, those other teams in our conference, our doors are opening too. So are we winning that part of it? And that's how we look at it. We really do. That's not a coaching cliche. These guys will tell you, since I've been here, there hasn't been one schedule put on our board. Not one date. There's countdown days, and there's periods of opportunities to win. And those periods sometimes are just weeks with really, a lot of times, a lot of people used to go those weeks with nothing in them. But that's not the way it is. There's an opportunity to win that week and find a way, and we're trying to stack a foundation for that type of mindset.
Desiree Jason a UNLV fan, doesn't necessarily have a question, but wants you to know that he's a season ticket holder that comes in from Laughlin for the games, and wants to thank you for representing UNLV so well, and says he's very excited to be in the front row of a new stadium. And I know there's a lot of excitement for that. I'm sure you're hearing that, Desiree, as you go around town.
Absolutely. Well, was it Jason A?
Yes.
Awesome. Jason A., thank you very much for your support of Rebel Football. It means an awful lot. And thank you for your kind comment. We're working really hard to make you and everybody on this call. I think there's a lot of you on this call, and thank you for taking the time to hear from our students, hear from Coach Arroyo and from Kevin and from me. We can only be as successful as the strength of all of us together. And just trust. We know we have to earn your trust every day, and just know we're going to work really hard to do that. So thank you. We're very excited about the stadium as well.
Nate, I want to bring you back in, and I'm going to ask Charles the same question later. You're both senior leaders on this team. You were leaders even before you were seniors. As somebody who's been around the program, we see what you have done with your teammates here over the last years. Nate, can you talk about the importance of senior leadership with this group this year, with a new coaching staff, and making sure that you help establish the tone and the culture that UNLV football is going to have?
Your mic's off, Nate.
So being a senior, usually that means you've been there for at least 3 years. And kind of the culture, the things that you appreciate and the things that you want to change. And, when you have a new coaching staff coming in, it helps that, you can let them know, you fill them in, this is the way things are, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And the coaches have been really open to hearing, what we think about our team, what do we want to change, what kind of standards do we want to set, and it falls right in line with their values. So I think that senior leadership is really important. We kind of set the tone, we set the tempo, and we are essentially the leaders of the culture. We influence the guys below us, younger than us, and get them on board.
Charles, same question. Talk about laying the foundation on the offensive side of the ball as a senior leader.
Honestly, it's just bringing the groups together and making sure everybody understands what they got on their plate. For me, like the running backs and everything, making sure everybody's in the Zoom meeting ready to go, taking notes, so we make our position coach job easier. Coach Boone, just making his job easier, so he doesn't have to keep going over the bases. We can take another step to the next level and get better and better each day. And I just feel, as a whole offense, just a culture, like holding each other accountable. Don't be afraid to speak up if somebody messing up. If a freshman is ready to speak up, let them speak up. He obviously sees something wrong. Letting them, making sure everybody feels comfortable, so they can play their game. That's the whole thing. When we get up here, everybody gets a little nervous, or some people can't handle the pressure. Just making sure your teammates are ready to go and where they can play their game. Where you see in the high school highlights, it translates to college, and they can get better. Just building confidence in each other and just understanding each other. Life stories, or on the field, off the field, type stuff. Connect with each other so you build that strong bond where you're not just a team, you like brothers, and we like an actual family.
Coach Arroyo, we have another question from a Rebel fan. Mike C. wants to know your thoughts on wearing retro uniforms in the future.
I'm all for it. The more uniforms we get, the better. Set up. I'm all for it. I think that stuff's cool. I think nowadays players get excited about it. I think if it fits, it fits. I don't think you want to go too far outside the boundaries there and get too crazy. But those are cool opportunities to celebrate the past or the start of something or a special thing. I think if there's opportunities we have in the future to do that, I think it'd be something worth doing. I don't know whether we're at that right now, but I'm excited about our uniforms this year, and some of the things we'll do. We'll keep it simple, but we got to let our game talk for ourselves too.
You're in Nike school. Obviously, you came from a Nike school with Oregon. Are we going to get Oregon crazy with some of the stuff here in the future with the uniforms?
I think that anything we can do to get these guys excited and recruits and to fit these guys up with the right stuff we're going to do. There's a couple wrinkles that we're working on in the near future and some further out. But I'm excited to see these guys get outfitted any way we can, and I'm going to do my best to press the envelope in regard to the relationships we've got with Nike and some of that I brought from there. And then obviously Desiree's done a great job of facilitating the opportunities that Nike gives us to kind of open things up. And so I'm excited about it. I think they will be too.
Coach, what's the most important thing that you want Rebel fans to know out there who are thinking about going to games or getting excited to go into games? What's the one thing about UNLV football right now that you want people to know?
Come support these guys. Just get out and support. Be in the front line. No different than some of the other things we're doing right now in life. Get out in the front line. Stand up. Get organized. Get out there. There's not a better place to go watch a game in the country. There's not a better opportunity to be in the front end of something. A lot of people sit home, say they want to be a part of something special. I want to start something special. I want to be the groundbreaker. Well, here it is. Here's an opportunity to get on the front end of something and be part of something special. Support young men who are going to go through something this year that is really, really special in their lives. Why not come support them and the opportunity they've got for 3 hours on a Saturday to do something they really love and can let their hair down and go to work and not have any entanglement and be part of something that's fun. I don't know. I think everything everyone says about that they want to do, we'll find out. We all say we want to be a part of something special. Let's find out who really wants to be part of something special. And don't try. You get on the train late now. Don't say you were there in the beginning.
That's right. Don't jump on the bandwagon late. Yeah. Be on it in the very beginning and start the parade. That's the most important part.
Preach.
Charles, let me ask you, as a senior, will you kind of take a look around a little bit more? I mean, there's a lot of last that comes with being a senior. Are you going to kind of soak it all in a little bit more before you go out and give 100% there every Saturday?
I guess, but like honestly, like I don't want to be thinking about like, oh, this is the last like moment like type thing, you know what I mean? Like this isn't like the last dance like type thing, you know what I mean? Like it's more of like just enjoying like each day with my teammates and everything, and just thinking about like, you know, it's great to like, you know, be in this like position. You know, most people don't get this far in life, and just seeing my teammates happy is like the main goal, and seeing us, you know, do what we're supposed to do, and just going out there and just enjoying like our success as a team. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Like just being successful, being out there like after a win, like we like enjoy it, but then we get right back to work, stuff like that. Like just knowing like after I left, like this is like, you know, the tradition. This is like the trend. Like everybody enjoying winning, everybody having fun. Like it's not like, oh damn, we got to go to practice today, or damn, we got a game today. Like no, like we finna go out there and turn up today. Like that's like the type of feeling I want everybody to feel when they get here. I want like UNLV to be like that school where, man, it's fun, but we also get the job done every time. And just leaving like a mark where like where Nate, if like on Nate's side, like the defense gets juiced up because the offense is doing what they're supposed to do, stuff like that. Just like those type of moments, like basically like a movie, you know what I mean? Like we're gonna ride this thing out. We're gonna see what type of movie we got. We're gonna see what type of movie we got this year. We're gonna make this a movie this year, basically. Hey, we're gonna make this a movie, yeah.
Nate, the opening act into that movie is going to be Cal. What are going to be your thoughts when you run out of the tunnel and onto the field at Allegiant Stadium for the first time?
Oh, you know what?
Hey, go ahead, Nate. That's on you. Go ahead.
Okay, my fault. Man, honestly, it's like by that time, I already know we're going to be fully prepared. We're going to be ready to go. And, you know, we're ready to get the job done. It doesn't really matter who we're playing. You know, at the end of the day, as long as we do our job, we can only beat ourselves. You know, we want to know every day. So, you know, that'll just be another day that we're trying to go 1-0.
We have another prize winner here. Carrie S., you are the winner of the UNLV football helmet. So somebody from UNLV marketing will be in touch with you on how to claim your prize. I want to go around the horn here with everybody with the same question, and it's a very simple one. What is your final message to Rebel fans? Desiree, we'll start with you.
Okay. First of all, thank you. Thank you for caring about UNLV football. Thank you for caring about my student athletes and our coaches and our staff. We have 12 weeks. We need you. This is the best stadium in the entire world. This is the best value in town. Like Coach said, why not us? Why not you? And why not now? So get on board, and get on board early. Let's all link arms and let's celebrate the Rebels together. Thank you.
Nate Neal, final message for the Rebel fans out there.
Final message, you know what? I just appreciate you guys for, you know, the last few years that I've been here, and I can't wait to give you guys, you know, that cannon back, and most of all, just have a successful season. You know, I got real love for Las Vegas, and I appreciate you guys for making this another home to me.
Charles Williams, your thoughts?
Just thank you to all the fans that have been supporting us for all these years, supporting me my whole career, and we're going to go out there and go out with a bang this year. And, you know, tune in August 29th. We play Cal, but also that's the day after my birthday. So come turn up, be my big present. We're going to turn up together. Hey, Big 22, deuce. Hey, we're going to turn up, and we're going to go have fun. Coach Arroyo going to be turned. He's going to be jumping and everything. We're going to be rocking and everything. So, hey, everybody, fans, we really appreciate you for standing with us this whole entire time through the pandemic and everything. And we're gonna bring some joy back into the city of Las Vegas.
Coach, before we get to you with the final word, I want to make sure I remind everybody, season tickets are on sale right now. They start at just $125. So you can go to unlvtickets.com/athletics, get all the details, and jump on board to go experience a $2 billion stadium, but more importantly, go experience UNLV football, because we think you're going to like what you see out there. Coach, you're going to give you the final word on the message to Rebel fans.
Yeah, get out. Everyone said it already. Get out there. Let's build that pride. Let's build that sense of community. Let's build what I've seen already that brought this staff and these players in a position to be successful to where we're at now. Let's move that needle the right way. Get in there, dig in, get engaged. And I think that's going to be really, really a great opportunity for the city to wrap its arms around something that we can all roll our sleeves up, go to work cost effectively, and share a lot of pride in what we're doing.
Again, season tickets at unlvtickets.com/athletics, starting at just $125 to go in there and watch the Rebels play in the $2 billion Allegiant Stadium, their new home for football. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Desiree Reed-Francois, Nate Neal, Charles Williams, Coach Marcus Arroyo. And thank you, and most importantly, to all the Rebel fans out there for taking part in our Rebel Caravan, being done virtually for the first time this year. We appreciate the fans very much, and we certainly hope that you come along for the ride, and it's going to be a fun one. And we look forward to seeing you out at UNLV football games at Allegiant Stadium starting at the end of August when Cal comes to town to kick things off. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and go out and have a great day.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thank you.